everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. So, my name is Michelle, and I'm an intuitive astrologer. I combine my knowledge of astrology with my intuition, and this will be reflected in this video. Now, today I will talk about the upcoming full moon in the sign of Aries, which will happen on the 6th or 7th of October, depending on your location, 2025 at 14 degrees and 8 minutes. And I will start off with explaining this full moon in general, and then we're going to dive into each and every single sign. Now, I recommend you to watch your rising sign. That's most accurate, so watch that first. And for additional information, you can also watch your sun sign and your moon sign. Okay, so let's have a look at this upcoming month. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. I also do private readings. You can check out my websites for the type of readings that I'm offering. I've also started offering pre-recorded videos, pre-recorded sessions, okay, for the people that are having busy schedules. So, this full moon in Aries. So, the moon in Aries, right? The moon is about emotions, and Aries is about moving forward. So, you might be feeling optimistic, uplifted about new beginnings. And usually, I don't talk about dwarf planets, but I think it's important to mention this as well, that this full moon is in a conjunction with Ceres, okay? And this is about nurturing. And this is a bit of a contradictive energy, right? Because Aries is quite bold, wants to move forward. And the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. So those two are balancing each other. And, there can be some extremes, right? With the full moon, like either going all in or trying to play it too safe. But, with this full moon, definitely Aries has the upper hand. So you want to do something new. And maybe that's because you're going to feel like you owe it to yourself. Nurturing energy, motherly energy. So being good to yourself. And maybe you've been preventing yourself from having happiness or starting something new because you didn't think you deserve it, right? And actually, because of this energy, I got an idea and I created a self-worth and confidence activation, okay? A healing session. So you can check that out because I really thought that is so resonating with this full moon, okay? And so it's time to nurture yourself. It's also about separation, loss, and return. So it could be that some emotions are coming back to you, things that you put aside because you thought, you know what, I'm putting this aside because I have other responsibilities, or there's other things to do, or I don't want to face these type of emotions. I'm gonna put my feelings aside, and now it's time to take bold action from self love, from self care, and remembering that, your first motherly energy is usually from mom. And if that didn't happen, it has to come through yourself, through your own nurturing. Okay. So there's this really protective motherly energy. So if you are a parent, you could be like feeling really protective of your kids, wanting to support them. Okay. Maybe one of your kids is leaving, is going abroad, and you want to send them the best. It's separation and then they will return. So, whatever your situation is, right? Now is the time to recover within yourself what is lost when it comes to just you, okay? Without external situations. We're going to look more closely into the signs to see where this loss and return could happen. Also, we have the South Node with Venus in Virgo. Now, Virgo is a sign that is of service, right? Is of health. And but Virgo can also be critical and detailed. But being detail oriented can be really positive until it becomes too strict. Because this Venus is opposing Saturn retrograde. Okay. And it's saying, like, where are you being a little bit too strict for yourself? Okay. So we also have a sextile with Jupiter in Cancer. So again, we have this nurturing energy. So being soft on yourself. Venus is about love and money. So where are you being too critical? Like you have to be so perfect to do your dream job. You have to be so perfect to have your relationship. Or maybe are you trying to attract something that is quite unrealistic, right? Because Virgo has high standards. Now, the South Node is about letting things go and bringing with you what you need for the North Node, your destiny. And the North Node in Pisces is definitely telling you to surrender, to let go. So, if you're so caught up on the exact details, what someone should look like, what you should look like, because if I look like this, I will have love. If I have this job, I will finally be loved and appreciated, right? But with the South Node, you want to integrate Venus and you want to bring it to the North Node to complete surrender. So, surrendering, what is your dream job going to look like? Because sometimes what we think we need is not actually what we're going to get. Because the universe sometimes really knows what is matching for you, what is good for you, and letting go of certain, maybe even toxic patterns. And I'm going there to Mercury. We have Mercury in Scorpio with a tight square with Pluto retrograde. Okay, so here we have these fixed signs fixated on something. Okay, this is a really amazing research energy, diving deep into a certain subject. So you might be able to recognize some toxic patterns that you're willing to let go of because Pluto loves to do shadow work. Pluto retrograde even more. Okay, so you can let go of certain patterns, certain thought patterns about yourself that are really holding you back from getting exactly what it is that you want. Sometimes we have to surrender and go with the flow, right? And sometimes this is a trap as well with astrology and with tarot, that people keep obsessing about a dream story, and this is not where this is meant for, right? The tool of astrology and tarot. And I think we've all done this when we're not feeling good and we're doing these kind of things. We're using astrology and tarot. We're going to force it because we want to be it. We want it to be a certain way instead of seeing it as a self guide, but not as a really tight exact thing, right? Like we want exact predictions, exact timings. But actually, what I've realized is that I want people to know what suits you, what to look for. Keep it open, keep it airy, and things come to you much quicker. Okay. So I work more on working on your energies, healing your energies, so you attract what you want. Sometimes you have to remove some blocks, right? So beautiful research energy in general. So if you are into any kind of research job, okay, fantastic. You're gonna dive really deep, maybe spend a lot of hours where other people would stop, but you can get great results. This is like a detective kind of energy, okay? Also, yeah, this is important, okay, that you stay true because this is also a kind of shady energy. If you use this in the lower frequency, so Pluto can be deceiving, manipulative, right? Because Pluto sees what's happening and can con their way around things. So stay truthful because also Pluto gets the truth up to the surface. So we're going to see a lot of new people looking into conspiracy theories, what I call them, which is some are, some aren't. But this is not what my channel is about. I always say use discernment, stay informed, stay strong in your energy, and that's where I come in. I make sure that you are connected to yourself so you feel better. Your intuition works and you know discernment and you do your research, okay? So, but this is definitely an energy, and a lot of lies can be exposed. So, we could be dealing with whistleblowers around this time, truths coming to the surface, okay? And also, especially related to like sexual scandals, things that were hidden that might be coming forward around this time. Okay. But yeah, truths will come out. Also, the darker side of things. Okay. Um, what else can I say? It's a very intriguing energy, okay? So whatever it falls into for you, we're gonna look at the signs. There will be some lies coming to. So stay honest, transparent. Any type of research job, you're gonna do great. Mars in Scorpio loves to be in Scorpio. This is a very empowering energy. Okay, we have the bold movements of the moon in Aries, and then we have Mars pushing you in a direction that is suiting for you. Okay, a new beginning. You're getting all the energy to really get there. We also have the North Node, and now it's not a very tight trine, but it's still trining Mars. So you're gonna go towards a new destiny, and you're gonna feel like, you know what, I deserve this. I'm gonna make this bold move, and Venus in is conjunct the South Node, so this could mean also good karma from the past regarding love, regarding service. Okay. In the past, even in this lifetime, you might have done good service. It's sextiling Jupiter in Cancer. So good karma from past lives could be coming back, could even be love coming back. But Saturn is saying, okay, this opposition is telling you, question it, don't dive into it too fast. Okay. Love yourself and see where this is going to or taking you, okay? Before you see someone's intention. But it can definitely be a serious connection coming in for you, and it might not be exactly what you expected it to be. So, this is for people who are single. You might even just close down like old toxic patterns, also regarding money, how you spend money. Do you need a budget? Even money could be coming in. If you have good karma right now, the South Node brings in good money for you because it's sextiling Jupiter. So it could be selling a house, even selling a house, could be some kind of service you're doing. If you've been helping a lot of families, I always say nothing is unseen. So I know a lot of you are doing so much behind the scenes, and especially the people that are empaths or like really always helping others, and you feel underappreciated. Um, it's just that know that it's always seen, even though it's not maybe by physical people, but there are beings behind the scenes that are definitely taking into account what you're doing. You just don't know what you're paying off from. Like, what have we done in past lives that we have to do a certain thing? So, if we know that through astrology, we can go through it, right? And we understand where certain areas in our life go slower for us than it is for other people. Okay. Um, I don't want to make it too long. So is there something else I can say? Well, we have Jupiter also squaring Chiron, okay? And also Mercury is opposing Chiron. So sometimes, you know, we are afraid to speak up and we overgive, okay? Because Jupiter square Chiron is like, I want to give, I want to share my happiness. And unfortunately, that's not always appreciated because sometimes the more energy you have, the more beauty you have to share. It sometimes creates jealousy in others, okay? It creates like, why are they so happy and not me? Or you give something and it's just never enough. So you have to set boundaries and see who can appreciate what you're giving. Because if you're going to keep giving to someone that hasn't had love or didn't love themselves, is an empty vessel, and you keep giving, 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 and it will never be enough because they haven't found within themselves that love. And we have to give them time to find that and to see and to if we keep helping others, they will become lazier and they will not work on themselves because you're doing everything and you're going to always feel underappreciated. So I think this is such an important message for you to give with Jupiter square Chiron in Aries, because Chiron in Aries feels not good enough. but sometimes it's not us, but we are also trying to prove something. So we have to validate ourselves so we don't need it externally. Okay. So let's go to all the signs. Let me put up the chart. So my lovely Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's so good to see you again. I hope you've been doing well. Big transformations for a lot of you, right? We also have Neptune now in your sign. It's retrograde, so it's going to move back into Pisces. But for now, it's in your sign. So if you're early degree Aries, you're going to be sometimes zoning out a little bit. Okay. But also, you're going to see that meditation is going to be much easier for you. And you might even come forward with certain talents, creative talents that you've been hiding. So, time to develop them. And with the retrograde, you're probably still going to keep them to yourself. But once it's direct, you will be more confident to show that to the outside world. So, this full moon at 14 degrees in your sign is going to highlight new beginnings, your identity, feeling like maybe you want to show more of yourself to the outside world. You want to, maybe you've made some changes or you've been through a certain transformation and you're like, you know what? I want people to see the new you. And we have Ceres, it's not a close conjunction, but it's close enough to be felt. So here you're going to nurture yourself and you're going to act bold from confidence and self love, right? I want to go into this new direction. And maybe if you're feeling well, because we have Chiron in your sign, okay, we'll be moving into Taurus actually next year, but for now it's still in your sign and it's squaring Jupiter in the fourth house. So maybe you're feeling so nurtured, you're feeling so stable, and you want to share that with other people because you feel like it's what you have to do. But like I said, don't overgive and also keep some energy to yourself. So somehow when you're at home, you're going to feel most energy right now. Okay. You have Jupiter in the fourth house. This is also a beautiful time to sell a house, but don't undervalue the price, under rent, because you feel like you have to give. And yeah, we also have Venus and the South Node in the sixth house. So here it's time to stop undervaluing yourself for your service. So whatever you're doing, whatever your job is, make sure that you don't overwork at the cost of yourself. Like for some of you, we're talking about Venus. So your health, especially your chest area, your heart area, if that's like giving some palpitations, it means Aries, time to relax a little bit. Okay. You've been doing too much. It's time to focus on your health because here, what the South Node and Venus want to tell you is like not undervalue yourself or overvalue. This could be related to money, but this can also be like, having too strict diets that are not good for you or eating too much. So you're letting go of toxic patterns regarding your health. And the North Node is saying, if you need some relaxation, listen to your body. Okay. And this might be the new identity that you're going to represent, the new you. You have different expectations of yourself and other people. Okay. Different expectations of the way you see your day to day life and your work. Now we have Mercury in the eighth house in Scorpio, squaring Pluto in the 11th house. Okay. So Pluto is retrograde in the 11th house. So watch out for telling too much gossip. It's either you, it could be your friends. Okay. And this gossip might change the way you see them or change the way you see even a community, right? Aries, you could be whistleblowing on a company or like a group of people that, yeah, is doing something that maybe isn't right. Stay truthful to yourself, really, really important, especially with Mercury in the eighth house. You can break a certain cycle when it comes to friendships. You're going to be like, you know what? This is not what I need. And this is what I'm going for right now. So Stay away from gossiping, speak truth, be direct. This is how you can grow because we're working with Scorpio and Plutonic energy, and they want you to be direct, and not going into the underworld, right? You want to go into the light. So you're going out of a situation and you're going to stand above it, and you can break certain cycles in your life, especially regarding organizations, the way you're seen in public. Um, Watch out what you say about, if you're in big company events, like don't try to talk certain people down, like especially higher up people, because it might be coming out to that person. Okay. Mars is in the eighth house. So it's really pushing you towards transformation, change. You're going to be really passionate about new beginnings. This is your time to break down certain cycles that are hindering you, because Mars is also trining the North Node in the 12th house. So you're solving certain patterns that are coming from past lives, okay? And you can break these cycles and really grow spiritually. Okay. Watch out though for extreme exercise. Okay. Because there could be some uh yeah, not really injuries because we don't have like intense squares, but still watch out a little bit, okay? Not doing too intense or being impulsive with when you meet someone, or doing out of marriage things, because it also heightens your your sexuality. So um your desires are valid, but also see if you don't hurt other people in the process. Really important. um yeah, and we have. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it, because otherwise I'm gonna talk way too much. Whoop. So we have these little cards that I felt were so cute, garden cards, and it says radiance. And this is so beautiful, Aries, because I feel that what you're going through is a new type of radiance. Okay. Also, this is a beautiful time for meeting someone new. Okay. It could be someone you used to work with. If you're already in a relationship, you're just finding balance by focusing on you. Gives you more energy also, because when you overflow, it's easier to stay in balance in a relationship, or even you have a partner that knows how to balance you really well. So keep your head held high and follow the sun. So now it's time to go after what it is that you want in life, what is important for you. Choose the people in your life wisely, okay? Who is always there for you, and yeah, who is doesn't want the best for you. And now it's time to get rid of a lot of patterns that are not good for you. Similarly, when it comes to health, so work on your health, and go shine, Aries, because this is the time for you to break certain patterns that gonna give you like this new glow up. So that would be for you, my lovely Aries. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I also do private readings. You find my website in the description box below, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Taurus. So Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aries in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is all a bit behind the scenes. These are your subconscious feelings. This is also helping the collective. And even though not everybody sees it, but you could be doing stuff behind the scenes, okay? To help the world, to help other people. You could be doing voluntary work or starting to do any type of volunteering work, because it's conjunct, slight conjunction with Ceres. This is really about nurturing. But you first start to nurture yourself. If you're tired, this is time for you to rest. You could be doing some yoga or some movements from home, dancing even. Okay, you can put on some music at home and start to dance. That will really reconnect you with your energy. Now we have Venus and the South Node in your fifth house, and this is related to romance, for example. And with the South Node here, it can bring back an ex, it can bring back someone from a past life. Okay, and this doesn't necessarily have to be someone that um is bad for you. could actually be someone lasting, but it's totally up to you. It's opposing Saturn. So it could be someone that doesn't want to be just friends with you, have been struggling to be friends with you, and could be letting you know that they want to be a little bit more than friends, Taurus. This could be someone that lets you know they're thinking about you. And, Venus is also sextiling Jupiter. So it might be that you're going to have a conversation, and this conversation can lead to like closure, depending if you want to continue with this person or if you just want to have a closing conversation. Okay. But yeah, it can be an uplifting conversation that leads to healing, leads to a certain ending, or you're going to continue. Okay. However, we do have Mercury in the seventh house of relationships and business partnerships squaring Pluto. So, if you're already in a relationship, right? Because this is more established relationships and you're working together, just make sure you're on the same page. Because Pluto in the 10th house, you're gonna either have difficulty with your boss and you're telling your partner, but they're going to feel a bit overwhelmed. And then at home, there could be some struggles as well because, Mars is really intense. It could also be that your partner is going to be really intense with you and you're also having intensity in the job. So, yeah, also with business partnerships, make sure you're on the same page and you're not dishonest to each other. Some truth might be coming to the surface about relationships, your relationship, business partnerships, okay? And for some of you, that might be even exposed to the public. If there's nothing in the closet, nothing to show. So I always say, you know, this kind of energy is like truth telling energy, but also if you have nothing to hide, there's nothing to tell. And you could be just having deep conversations at work and you share that with your partner and you're growing together. This would be the highest form. Okay. So it's important that you try to stay as much truthful to where you stand. And if something happens or you say something wrong, which is totally normal because we all have said things wrong in our life or things we shouldn't have shared, and it just happened in the moment, at least the thing you can do is take accountability. Okay, so that's really important right now, taking accountability. There might be some changes in work, like, or difficulty with a boss, okay, with authority, wanting to change jobs, and you might just, feel like now is the time. I need rest or I need to take a day off from work, okay, because there's a lot of intense energy. Right. So also we're talking about fifth house because I wasn't I didn't finish that. Sometimes I'm so excited I talk about many things and then switch it. Okay, whatever. So fifth house is also creativity. So picking up a hobby that you used to, maybe do as a child, and now you're coming back to it. And it could even be through your own children that introduce you to that again and say, you know what, mom or dad, let's pick up this hobby together, or some creativity that you're ready to show to the public. Okay. Showing to the outside world. Your voice is so powerful right now, Taurus, with Jupiter in the third house. So, weed. This is not what you smoke, okay? This is what in the garden. So, don't tolerate less than you deserve. So what it means is that you're going to have to, I did this healing because I felt like self-worth is going to be so major in the upcoming days, upcoming time. Don't tolerate anything less than you deserve. So you'll figure out who is deserving of you, relationship wise, work wise. Are you feeling valued? And what can you do about it? Maybe you have to speak up, or you have to change the way you see yourself, right? Change that perspective and remove the things that are blocking your way and sabotaging you. And you know what? It's not so easy because we want to be nice to everyone. And we don't want to think that everyone wants to sabotage your path, right? We want to see the good in people, but sometimes it's just something karmic. And sometimes people don't even know they're blocking your path, okay? So I always say, like, we have to talk and then you will see, right? If you're honest, people walk away, you'll have the truth, right? You will know where you stand and what they think about you. So that's my message for you, my lovely Taurus. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. I also do private readings. You find my website in the description box below with all the information. And I see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Let's move on to Gemini. So, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So, we have this full moon in a sign of Aries at 14 degrees in your 11th house. So, this is the house of friendships, community, right? This is also the masses. This is about networking, okay? And Aries is quite bold, right? Wants to take action, wants to do fun stuff, wants to be inspired. And we have this moon, this full moon in Aries, in a slight conjunction with the dwarf planet of Ceres, which is about nurturing. So maybe you want to connect with your friends. We also have Neptune there. So maybe you want to have certain activities together, or you can have some group activities that you're going to do that are really giving you a lot of healing. Okay. Now Jupiter's in the second house, so especially Gemini rising, you have opportunity to make a lot of money. Now Chiron is there in the 11th house, and maybe you want to give to your friends, but you also have to see where's your limit. You don't have to give everything away, okay? You can definitely donate, help, your friends or organizations, but you also have to see like what it is that you need for yourself right now. So find a good balance in give and take. And we are also in Libra season, so it's quite a romantic time for you. Okay, so it could be that some of you might be meeting someone new, and this could be coming from your groups, your friends, maybe a company event, something like that. We have the South Node and Venus in a conjunction in Virgo in your fourth house. So this is related to your family. Now you have an opportunity, Gemini, to break certain patterns in your family. So it could be that your family is a bit critical sometimes, expecting a lot. And you're now telling yourself, like, to the level of that perfectionism, it's maybe not possible. Okay. So, where can you love yourself more and leave that critical voice of especially mom, because fourth house is especially related to mom, that is saying, like, you should do better, you should do this, you should do that. Take whatever resonates, whatever helps you, and leave the super critical voice on the side, because maybe for work in the North Node in Pisces, you need to surrender more and let go of how it should go. Okay. And this can also be you being very clean, excessive cleaner, someone who wants everything clean, clean, clean. And you need to let go of that pattern of needing the house to be um, you super organized and clean all the time, that it's going to distract you from working. So, yeah, focus on work. And, some of you are going to go cleaner, or you're just going to clean less often, okay? Because that's going to distract you from working, maybe, or other activities like spending time with your friends. This could be a move for some of you, okay? Some of you are moving or money could be coming in even from a house, selling a house, okay? Because Jupiter is in the second. We have Venus and the South Node together, so it's mostly related to past life, okay? The karmic sheet of your past or past lives. So if you've been working really hard on a house, so even your past, the value might have increased and it gives you more money. Now, Mars is in the sixth house, so you're going to have lots of energy, great for workout. Mercury is in the sixth, squaring Pluto in the ninth, okay? So you're going to be looking into global stuff, what's happening, looking at the dark side of the world, maybe. Make sure that you don't bring your ideals to work, because that might cause some fights in the workplace, okay? Your ideals, your research is sometimes too far out for other people, okay? Because sometimes we go into a rabbit hole and we want to share that with people, want to protect them. We want to help them, right? We have this Aries energy. We want to protect people, but we can only help people at the level they're ready to be helped at. Okay, so keep it in mind that you're not overgiving, oversharing, and trying to convince people of your own research. Okay, because if you're doing research actually for work, if it is for work, you're gonna really do fantastic research. Okay, fantastic research. If you're an accountant or if you're a scientist or researching, you're a journalist or things like that, you can do fantastic work now. So we have wildflower. Live an uncontrolled life, free to grow anywhere and bound by nothing. So it's time to let go of certain situations that are holding you back. Like maybe you want things to go faster, quicker by certain rules. And maybe some of those rules are, you know, so strict that it's hard to act on them. So let life guide you one step at a time. I also feel like it's time to sit a little bit more outside. Even if you're in a cold country, try to just be, if there's any sun, or just sit outside for a little bit, breathe in the fresh air, uh, read a book, go to a park. This is really important for you right now. A lot of you need sunlight. Okay, we also have Uranus. Okay, Uranus is retrograde at 1 degree, so between 0 and 5 degrees you're going to be impacted by this Uranus. You're going to be want to fly in different directions, so you're going to definitely break free from certain paths and experiment what path is best for you. So the inner rebel is definitely going to find its place for you. Okay, so that's my message for you, my amazing Gemini. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. You not only help me, you help me help more people. And I also do private readings. You find my website and email in the description box below. And I'll see you next time, Gemini. Let's move on to Cancer. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aries in your 10th house. So this is about your public image, your work, and maybe some of you are ready to make some bold moves, okay? Because Aries is all about bold moves. And we have Ceres there, the dwarf planet, which is about loss and return. So maybe some of you are going through a return of work. Maybe you've been without work, or it's been super, if it's been super busy, you might be losing some work. And some of you might be returning or getting back some work, going back to an old job, old client. Neptune in your 10th house makes you so creative. So if you're in any type of creative job, okay, could be even marketing, design, artist, someone who makes furniture, it doesn't matter, whatever your job is, you will have more creativity. If you're in like exact jobs, it's probably going to be a little bit more hard to focus. Okay. But now we have Mercury in Scorpio, square Pluto helping you. Okay. So if you do any type of research, maybe you're doing research regarding finances, investments, these kind of things, you can go like really deep into the subject and find the best ways to invest, or even expose like certain payment systems that are not working well, or insurances, like mistakes making in insurance or institutions. You're going to figure that out. Okay. And according to that, you might be getting money back, or, if you have to pay more, just you know I don't know, organize your things. I'm not going to have an opinion about that. But Mars is also in the 5th house, so this is also about intensity of relationships. So you're going to have a good time with your partner. If you're single, okay, be careful because you might go way too fast. There's a lot of intense energy there, so you might meet someone new and you think like, oh, this is totally it. Cancer, and you have your Jupiter there in the 1st house, so it's making you really enthusiastic. But make sure keep like one step at a time. Okay, don't do things too soon that you regret later, because the energy says you're probably gonna go into that too soon, but you also have an intensity for creativity and sharing that. Jupiter is in a square with Chiron in the 10th house. So make sure that, you have all this energy right now that you want to expand, that you want to share with others, but you don't have to overgive to be, to be seen, to be valued in a job, okay? Because you're already good enough as you are. You're already good enough as you are, Cancer. So you don't have to super impress people. You're already very creative. The South Node is with Venus in the 3rd house, and it's sextiling Jupiter in the 1st. So the way you communicate, the way you speak might be different, and this will really impress people. Maybe you used to not prepare, but now with Saturn in opposition, you're like, I'm gonna change the way I study. I'm gonna change the way I speak. And you're going to prepare in different ways, so your speech is going to be more powerful, and you're going to let go of patterns of overthinking how you should say something, how you should do it. You're going to go more from your enthusiasm and your intuition, and that's really enough for you to convey a certain message. Look at that, I have hidden depths. So there's so many hidden depths to you, Cancer. You only see the surface, look beyond. So sometimes people don't know your depth, okay? And you only share that with the people that really deserve that. So yeah, there are hidden depths, but also you're going to go beyond the surface with certain paperwork, okay? Um, yeah, you're going to maybe look into some taboo subjects and really, maybe even exposing some things through artwork or through your words, through your hobbies. And it's almost could be shocking, but at the same time, it's well done research. Okay. So also with your kids, there could be some ups and downs regarding kids. If there's any kind of custody situation, do good research. Or there could be some things that you get to know about your kids, like some secrets that they kept, or they know secrets about you. Okay, so could be either or. So try to be as transparent as possible. Okay, so yeah, that would be my message for you, my amazing Cancer. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, maybe leave a comment how this resonates. And I also do private readings. You find my website in the description box below. And until next time, thank you so much. Let's move on. So Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So for you, we have this full moon in Aries in your 9th house at 14 degrees. So you're going to be highly impacted, especially if you have your Sun, Moon, and Rising around 14 degrees, because that's giving you a huge boost, okay? Boost of confidence. And this can be coming through you traveling, studying. Okay, you could be studying for something, and Neptune can sometimes make you a little bit foggy or like distracting you from the things that you need to do. But actually, through your intuition, you can also study. So if you study in a different way, that is definitely going to be helpful, because your memory is going to work a little bit differently right now. Okay. And we have Chiron also in the 9th house. So you're definitely doing research, maybe in spirituality, learning maybe a new language, learning about the world. You just have this endless curiosity. Just make sure that you don't spend too much energy towards only researching that, because Chiron can sometimes overdo it, overhelp others, overteach others, okay? Because it's square Jupiter in the 12th. So you might be having a lot of downloads, a lot of information that you want to share with others, but it could be at the cost of your own study, or it could be at the cost of your own energy. But you have some kind of protection around you, and you kind of can feel that. Um, Watch out for teachers, certain teachers that are their teacher, but then it turns out you're their teacher. That in the end you're giving more than what they are giving you. So it has to be give and take, okay? It has to be a natural flow. So really pick someone as your teacher, whatever, if it's, languages, if it's a study, if it's spirituality, someone that is equal give and take, right? Like if you pay someone to teach you, they have to teach you and not you healing them. Okay, so don't fall for that. Mercury in Scorpio is in the fourth house. So this is related to family, housing situations, and it's squaring Pluto in the seventh. And this could be related to maybe landlords, a difficult situation with the house that you're in, rental. Your partner and your family could be like a little bit in a conflict with each other. Maybe, mom doesn't like partner, all the way around, and there could be some intense conversations. It could be that you're having an intense conversation with your partner because they spoke to you about things that maybe they don't like. Okay. Mars is in the fourth house. So this gives a huge, tremendous amount of power regarding maybe you want to fix things in the house. You want to, because you cannot sit still with this energy in the home. So even though you have this resting Jupiter in the 12th house, also you want to right now kind of move stuff, be in the house, but reorganize things. Um, Also, there might be some truths exposed about family to your partner. Okay, some truths about your family exposed, some truths about your partner that might be coming to the forefront. I always say if there's nothing, I'm just saying all the potentials with the planets, the potential things that can happen, but it's not that it will happen. Okay, it's also time to watch your budget because the south node is with Venus in the second house, and Venus is sextiling Jupiter, so there could be money coming in according to past life and past deeds. But also money could be going out quickly, so it's time to rebudget, maybe revalue yourself by changing your rates as a maybe you're entrepreneur or a freelancer, you're going to change your rates. Okay, traveling might really bring out a new version of yourself. So if you're traveling right now, that almost gives you like a new identity. Okay, what do we have here? Be present. Be present, Leo. So it's time to live in the moment. Use the hours and don't count them. Okay, so maybe you're trying to go too fast sometimes, and that could lead to you thinking that it's not enough because we have the South Node in the second house. So it's kind of draining what is enough for you. And be present. That's going to help to see things in a more clear manner. You have such a great intuition right now, so you know exactly where to go. So be present with yourself. Even though you have some restless energy sometimes, do some sports and then do some meditation after and be present and understand that sometimes going so quick is actually going slower. And when you go slow and you build a strong plan, strong process, it's going to give you long lasting peace and long lasting success. Okay. So that would be my message for you, my amazing Leos. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to help me spread the message or spread this channel, subscribe to it so more people will find my video. If you want to book a private reading with me, you find my email in the description box below, or you can check out my website. Thank you so much, Leo. And until next time, let's move on to Virgo. So, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aries at 14 degrees in your eighth house. So, this has to do with your paperwork and your finances, okay? Getting everything in order, making sure that yeah, that you did your text as well and you're not overlooking or overseeing something. You have Chiron in a square with Jupiter, so watch out with overspending. money on your friends because you might meet a lot of new friends right now with Jupiter in the 11th house, or you want to support them, or you want to support your friends with their house, or you just simply taking a lot of time to help them, explain them about investments or explaining them about certain things. And that's going at the cost of yourself. And maybe you're not paying enough attention on your own papers and finances because of that. So, first, fix your own paperwork. And I know this sounds a little bit boring, but sometimes we have to do boring stuff in life, right? Life is supposed to be like a flow. Like sometimes we have intense times and sometimes we have like just things we have to finish, right? But at least Jupiter in the 11th house, you can have a lot of fun. You can meet a lot of people that are going to feel like family. Going to feel like family. Um, this is also about you being bold about your vulnerability, working on that, right? And it's in a conjunction with the dwarf planet of Ceres, right? Not very close, but it's still close enough conjunction to feel it. So healing patterns regarding your nurturing qualities, right? Because when you're a little bit more vulnerable, sometimes people see you as more nurturing. Okay. This could be about your emotions that you didn't feel for quite some time, might be coming back, and you're kind of feeling like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm feeling. Maybe you've been hiding some emotions about a certain situation that now you're ready to show, you're ready to talk about. Okay. You have the South Node and Venus in Virgo. So it's in your sign in the first house. So this is about you letting go of certain patterns that are no longer serving you, like being too detail oriented or too perfectionistic, thinking that you have to look so perfect in order to be loved, right? Because the North Node in the seventh house is saying, you know what? Love will find you when you surrender, or your relationship will go much better when you don't think you have to look perfect all the time, but you can just be yourself and love yourself for exactly who you are. So this is now the time to do that and say, I am good enough as I am. Like, I don't need to do all these changes to my looks and all these things. Okay. So it's surrendering into partnership, which sometimes is going to be a bit awkward because you're more into, work, service, and yeah, maybe you're gonna have to support a partner right now, or you're just in a relationship, and sometimes it feels a little bit strange, and you're gonna have to find your own routine and your own pattern. And sometimes it's about compromise. So maybe some of you Virgos need to compromise in something. Okay. But definitely a time where you can meet someone. Okay. So if you let go the type, what he or she is going to have to look like, and you definitely need to have wishes and boundaries. Okay. This is really important, but not so much that it's going to be almost impossible. And sometimes we don't give the right people a chance because we want to we're projecting our insecurities. And I'm saying this because I've done that myself, that I didn't give people a fair chance because I had a certain idea about someone, right? So it's important to really let go of expectations, go with the flow, have good boundaries, say yes to what you like, no to what you don't want, and you will have slow process and time to get to know someone. We have Mars in the third house, making you have a very powerful voice. Okay, you could be very direct and blunt. Maybe usually you're not like that, but now you're like, actually Virgos in general don't like too much BS, but it's gonna be even more right now. Also, Mercury is in the third house and it's squaring Pluto in the sixth. So be careful with this bluntness because you might be offending some of your colleagues. Okay. Some of your colleagues might not be happy with what you have to say. But you could be doing amazing research, like really good research where people are going to be very impressed with what you have done, okay, and how complex your mind can be, how far your depth is. Like sometimes you don't show your depth, okay. Stay away from gossip in the workplace, really important. um let things let things flow a little bit. Like, um, yeah. Mm, yeah. With communication, okay, speak truth, but make sure that you don't regret what you're going to say later, okay? Also with health, watch your health. And like I said, if there's nothing below the surface that needs to come out, nothing will happen, okay? But it's important to have good health and not overdo it, like going to extreme diets or, because Pluto can do extremes in the sixth house. So don't do anything extreme because that might be coming back to you as well. Like find a healthy balance. And yeah, there might be some overthinking happening when it comes to the workplace or when it comes to your health, but one step at a time, okay? One step at a time. You will finish what you need to finish, okay? But you can do great research now. If you're traveling, um, make sure to have everything ready. Uh, yeah, and try not to fight with the travel operators because some things might not go exactly the way we want to, but it's an intense energy. But at the same time, if you work with it in the right way, you're gonna nail it. Did I get you a card already? Did I get you a card already, Virgo? Generosity. Look at that. Generosity. Sow seeds of kindness. So spreading your kindness. Well, Virgo, you're kind of the sign that always already spreads kindness, but is more in a situation where maybe things are tough, like in the workplace, where sometimes people respond, and I had to learn this as well. Sometimes people respond from their own lack, and they're going to be mean, or they're going to say mean things, or they're going to steal your ideas, they're going to do something, and it's because of their insecurity. And if we're going to react to it, we're going to be in their insecurity. So if we just stand up for ourselves, you can say something about it. You can let it go and think, you know what? They will have their karma at the right time. Because when always the whole world is in balance. So at some point it will come back. It might not be immediately, but at some point, yes, it will happen. So no matter what, don't get too involved in what they're going through because it's not your thing to fix. Also with this full moon in the eighth house, okay? So don't be too involved with people that need healing because sometimes we have to let people go to go through their own healing when they are ready in their own time. So that's my message for you, my lovely Virgo. Thank you so much for being here and until next time. So let's move on to Libra. So Libra, Sun and Rising. For you, we have this full moon at 14 degrees in Aries in your seventh house. So this is about relationships, business partnerships, okay? And Aries here, maybe this full moon in Aries here, you feel like you have this like new confidence or a new way on how to relate with your partner. Maybe you want to do some activities together. The moon and Ceres, right? The dwarf planet Ceres. This is about nurturing. So maybe you want to spend time with your partner, nurture each other. Just make sure, because Jupiter's in your 10th house. So this is really about your career, your public image, that not overly given your relationships with Chiron in the seventh house, that you're trying to fix your business partner or your partner, and that you don't have enough energy for yourself, okay, or for resting. Because the South Node is with Venus. It's saying, where do you need some rest, or where do you need to look at your health? If you've been going too much, too much, too much, this time will tell you, like, you need a little bit of a break, Libra, because there's a lot going on in all different areas of your life, okay? But it can be, in a positive sense, a really romantic time for you. You can spend beautiful time together. It could even be that some of you are going to temporarily separate because it is loss and return. It can indicate that. So it could be that your partner is going abroad or you're separating temporarily and until they're coming back. Maybe they need to go abroad or they need to spend time with their family, certain situations. And this is really a test of wanting the other person to experience something, or like this unconditional love, like, I really look forward to your return, but I also really want the best for you. So that could be as well with this planet. But yeah, the South Node and Venus in Virgo in the 12th house is removing subconscious patterns in love. Also regarding health, what you need to let go of that is not really helping you. Sitting too much at home, or not sitting at all at home, and you need to have and work on a bit of a healthier routine that is maybe more suiting for you. Okay, you could have had past lives where you were really strict and doing everything so exact, but now it's time to also go with the flow and really ask what your body needs from you, right? What does your body need from you? Pisces in the 6th house, so it's go with the flow. Like, this is good for dancing, swimming, or just, do your sports when your body tells you to, according to your intuition. Of course, this is also your season, so wherever get, happy birthday. I'm wishing you an amazing time. I hope you have a fantastic day. This is a great day to manifest your things. So, if the sun is transiting your sun, that's a beautiful time to manifest. Now we have Mercury as well in your 2nd house, squaring Pluto in the 5th. Okay, so be careful with money scams. Too good to be true. Money scams, gambling, very important. Not a good day to do that because you might lose money. Scams, like I said, like fall for too good to be true situations. Pluto is in the 2nd house. So here, maybe you want to stand up for your value, or if someone, took too much money from you, could be even a romantic partner that you feel that the give and take is not fully equal, or your children took a bit too much of your money, like you gave them your credit card and you found out that they spent too much. There might be a little bit of a discussion that needs to be held with them. Okay, but certain truths can be coming to the surface regarding relationships, regarding your children, but also you could have really in-depth creativity or certain messages that you send with your work that might be inspiring to others. Maybe people want to buy it because it does something to them. Okay. Let's see. Opportunity. Well, with Jupiter in the 10th house, definitely a lot of opportunities for you, my amazing Libra. There is no use looking for luck, it arrives at unexpected times. This is so beautiful because this is exactly what Jupiter is about, not to control the outcome, but to really let it come to you by having faith that you deserve it and that it can come your way. Okay. So that's my message for you, my lovely Libra. If you want to help me spread this message, subscribe to my channel so I can help more people. And also, I do private readings. You find my website and my email in the description box below. I'm wishing you all the best, my lovely Libra. And until next time, thank you so much. Let's move on now to Scorpio. So Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. So for you, we have this full moon at 14 degrees in Aries in your 6th house. So this is all about your routines, your health. Okay. And maybe you want to make like a bold move when it comes to, you want to do new sports, want to stick to your new routine. Maybe you want to make certain bold move in your workplace. Also, the moon is in a slight conjunction with Ceres, and this is about nurturing. So maybe you will find new ways to nurture your body, find a routine that is better serving you. And for some of you, because Ceres is also loss and return. Maybe some of you are coming back to a job or a client after a break, or you're just, um, yeah, re-grabbing yourself back into your routines. Like maybe you had troubles with routines. We also have Neptune and Chiron there, so it can be difficult to have a routine. And it's also squaring Jupiter in the ninth, so maybe it had to do with you traveling a lot, or spending a lot of time teaching or studying something, and your routines are just a little bit waggy, but now you're going to come back to a routine that might really serve you. There's a lot of intensity for you, okay, around this full moon, because you also have Mars in your sign, so you're going to have a lot of energy, a lot of power to move forward, okay? You can really get a lot of stuff done, what you want done. So people might be feeling, because in general, Scorpio, you have this magnetic aura, and with Mars, it's gonna expand even more. So it's gonna be like people are gonna be a bit intimidated with your energy around this time. And Mercury is close to, well, it's at 0 degrees. So if you're an early sun, moon, and rising, you're gonna have Mercury, on your sun, moon, and rising, squaring Pluto in the fourth. So there might be something with family and identity that you want to heal. Maybe some of you want to talk with family. Family secrets might be coming out, things that you didn't know, okay? That will change the way you see yourself. You might be breaking certain ancestral patterns right now, okay? Going in depth. Maybe you're going back into your family history and you get to know more about your history and what happened with your ancestors. Housing situations. So be careful with housing situations, like your landlords, or if you're buying a house, be very careful for scams, too good to be true situations. Okay, anything related with the house, um, yeah, make sure that you double check everything, because you might feel later like, oh, this was a setup, or this is not exactly what it looks like or seem to be. And if you've been following my story, I'm a Scorpio rising, and well, some of you know that we invested, or we first rented, luckily, a retreat center in the north of Spain, and it turned out not what we thought it would be. And, you know, the owner didn't want to fix all the things that we wanted to, that needed to be fixed in order to have like a retreat center and all these kind of things. And of course, we invested a lot of stuff, and we saw it as a lesson, because in the end, we went back to the south of Spain, which in the end, we really wanted to be here. It's better suiting for us. But, you know, if I can warn you for something that, we had to go through, I can really tell you this. Check everything, especially around this full moon, okay? Because it can really help you. And yeah, don't make rushed decisions because you feel pressured into it. Really important. The south node is with Venus, so there might be a friendship coming back for some of you. People from the past contacting you, okay? There might be even letting go of certain friends, because Virgo here is sometimes, maybe you had to let go of friends that are really critical of yourself. So who do you let in your life when you love yourself? Like, what are your friends like that really love you? Okay, so you might be hearing from a friend. Um, yeah. And you could have been a little bit distant from your friends, working more on your hobbies. So they're checking in with you, Scorpio, like looking at like what's Scorpio doing. You're just working on your health, and you're working on your hobbies, and some of you are traveling and could be moving abroad, some of you, okay? But like, take my story as an inspiration, double check everything. All right. Change. Change. So some of you are on the verge of change. As with the falling leaves, embrace change. So sometimes we are scared of changes because some things that happen seem unfair, but you know, the funny thing is, I'm taking my story as an example. I had to go to the north of Spain to see that that's not our place, come back and be in a place that we absolutely love. And we changed so much because I went for full-time astrology, and my partner changed his job. Like, we did everything different. And we embraced that this had to happen for us to see what we had to change. So sometimes, because people are so strict on, don't fail, don't do this, but sometimes failure leads to change, right? Sometimes an unfair situation leads to you being on the right path. Sometimes the worst person you've met is really bringing you at the right direction to the right place. So don't fear change. Change is sometimes good. Always changing is not good. Always chasing change and intensity, but flowing, going with the flow is totally okay. And this is the path you're on right now, Scorpio. So embrace this change, embrace your new routines, follow this diet that is good for you, okay, that is feeling good for you, that you can follow, that is making you feel most energetic. So, yeah, that would be my message for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to help me expand and send the message to more people, please subscribe to my channel or leave a comment how this resonates with you. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much. Let's move on to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in your fellow fire sign, Aries, in the fifth house at 14 degrees. So if you have a Sun, Moon, and Rising at 14 degrees, you're going to be highly impacted by this full moon, okay? And it's in the fifth house. So this is about your creativity. Maybe you want to make a new bold move, showing the public. So we have the opposition of the sun. Maybe you want to show the public some talent that you've been hiding. You could be just wanting to have fun with your friends and do some activities, share that with your kids, and just go out and about and enjoy yourself. Okay. Um, yeah, there is also a chance of meeting someone else through your friends. Okay. Just be careful with projection because Neptune is now in the fifth house, makes you insanely creative right now, but also can project certain expectations or fantasies onto someone you meet. So you have to go through the pink colored glasses time to see who do I have here. Okay. And what is it that fits you best, Sagittarius? So we have the South Node and the Sun in Virgo in your 10th house. So some of you are letting go of a job, switching jobs, going back to an old job. Um, yeah, or literally starting to work from home or a hybrid. Okay. Maybe you want to do your work from a different perspective. It might not be a change of work. For some of you, it is, but you're going to have to work from the heart first. Doing something that make you feel rooted, that make you feel safe. So it's easier to go to your work day in, day out. Okay. Some of you are going to work more with a flexible schedule than you did before. Okay. We have Mercury in the 12th house, squaring Pluto in the third. So there might be some behind the scenes gossip about you, or things that you realize about your siblings, because third house is your siblings, your neighbors, that you realize when you spend time by yourself. Like, is this something I like, or is this something I don't like? So maybe your sibling said something to you and you need time on your own to process what has been said or what your neighbor has said, okay? At the same time, if you're studying and you're spending time by yourself, you can do great research, but you need to be on your own. So it's not so good to study in a library. It's better to be right now on your own, be in your own kind of bubble, okay? So whatever it is that you're working on, you kind of need this bubble on your own. Mars is in the 12th house. So there might be some restless energy within you, but it can easily exhaust you. So right now, listen to your body. Don't do, but listen to what your body is capable of you doing. Okay. So one step at a time is better. But yeah, good research can be done. Courage. Look at that. Courage. Okay. And some of you are expecting as well, okay? Or expecting a child because we also have Ceres in a conjunction. So yeah, starting to become a mother, a father. Um, yeah, adopting. For some of you, it's even adopting. adopting a child. Um, yeah, courage. When picking roses, don't fear the thorns. So sometimes the obstacles look so huge that we don't dare to take the step of actually going for what you want. Okay. But some of you are in the process of, conceiving a child or, yeah, like I said, adoption. And there might also be some luck coming in for you when it comes to money. Okay. Could be getting money back from Texas or organization, like some lucky break. Um, Even an inheritance is possible for some of you. But if you want to make certain changes that are better for you, okay, don't fear the obstacles because there's always obstacles in life. And sometimes we are not even starting because we think there's so many obstacles. Wallflower, it says, look for the crack in the concrete to find your way out. So sometimes we think there's no way out of something that, I don't see any other way. But sometimes when you look really well, you can see a crack in the concrete and you can, break it open and walk through it. You're never trapped. Okay, Sagittarius, you're never trapped. So that's my message for you, my lovely, lovely Sag. If you want to help me spread this message, subscribe to my channel. Also, I do private readings. You find my website and my email in the description box below. And until next time, bless you so much. Let's move on to Capricorn. So, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aries in your fourth house. And this is related to your family, your house, your housing situation. And we have Neptune also in the fourth house now, okay, in Aries. So this can create a very a need for you to express yourself in your house, to put a lot of creativity in your house, okay? But it can also create some fogginess, like what is happening in the family. I don't really have a visible indication. And we have the moon conjuncting Ceres. This is nurturing feelings. So if in any way you feel like some nurturing lacked from your family or mother, now it's time to feel that within yourself, Capricorn, to feel and bring that nurturing and integrating it in your body. Okay, it's also about separating and loss and then return. So you could be having these emotions or a disconnect of the self that now is rooting back into your life. Okay, feeling like, yeah, I actually do belong in this house or in this place, or actually feel really connected to my family. So you're going to have this reconnection, integrating back into your body and feeling your identity more clearly. Okay. But we have Jupiter in the seventh house. So, really good romantic time for you, and it's squaring Chiron in the fourth. So it could be too much time of maybe your partner or you going into the house or into the family. And it's hard to find the balance between both. So you have to really um, find give and take healthy time of, what do I do, how much time I spent with family and how much time I spent with my partner. And if you're single, Capricorn, this is a beautiful time to meet someone new. We have Virgo conjunct the South Node in the ninth house. So for some of you, it could be even someone from the past is coming back. This could be someone from a distance. Someone, you've met on a holiday somewhere might be coming back. Okay. You could be traveling back around this time also to a place where you've been before, and you're going to decide if this is the place that you want to come back to, or are you ready to kind of leave that behind? Now we have Mars and Mercury in your 11th house in Scorpio, quite an intense energy, okay? And Mercury is squaring Pluto in the second house. So, giving your money to certain organizations that could bring in some issues, or giving money to friends and you don't really want to. Okay, only give if you really want to give, Capricorn. Otherwise, there are going to be some issues. Watch out for scams as well, like organizations scamming you for your money. Be very careful. And there could be some intense conversations with friendships that make you doubt your self-worth and your value, okay? But in the highest sense, you can have deep conversations with your friends and do something fun together. You could do hiking, swimming, like active activities like sports is going to be really good. Okay. Persevere. Persevere. How do I say that correctly? Persevere. Leave no stone unturned. So if there is a vision that you have in your mind for yourself, Capricorn, now is not the time to give up. So keep going. There will be externally always people that are trying to get you off your path, but you have to keep the vision that you feel deep within is resonating with you. Okay, we get here twilight. Surrender to the last hour when the light barely touches the flowers. So it's about surrendering as well. Like persevere, but don't have specific expectations because this is also about Virgo and the South Node, right? It's about surrendering into what the universe presents for you. And sometimes you're gonna, have to surrender, even though you thought some things were going a certain way. Sometimes you just shift to a different direction that is just a little bit better for you. So keep persevering with discipline, but also don't put exact projection how things should go. Let it happen naturally. Okay. So that's my message for you, my lovely Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to help me spread this message to more people, make sure to subscribe, maybe leave a comment how this resonates with you. And also I do private readings. You find my website in the description box below. And until next time. So let's move on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aries in your third house. So this is about your communication. This is also about transport, okay? But we have Neptune and Chiron here as well. So if you want to buy certain transport, make sure to double check everything before you do, right? Also, if you drive, if you're feeling like you're zoning out a little bit too much, make sure to ground yourself first, okay? Ground yourself first. But at the same time, there is a new way of speaking. Your creativity is going to be off the charts. And we have this full moon in a conjunction, slight conjunction with Ceres, the dwarf planet. And this is about nurturing. So you might have a new way of speaking that's very nurturing to people. They feel very safe, they feel very heard, but also it's a voice of leadership, okay? But you don't have to over explain because Chiron has been in the third house for a long time, and now it's with Jupiter in the sixth house. And you don't have to always over explain. So here you're going to find a new pattern that's better for you because truth comes from within. You know what you've said, what you didn't say, okay? Because we also have Mercury in the 10th house and it's squaring Pluto in the first. So maybe you're getting blamed for things you haven't said, but you don't have to over explain, okay? You just have to be honest and speak from the heart. That's all you can do. So there might be some difficulty in the workplace, especially with the boss, okay? Even in the public, people might say something that kind of triggers you and leads towards transformation because Pluto is in the first house, okay? And it's really transforming your identity, the way you see yourself. And how do we transform? Sometimes through difficulty, okay? But don't be afraid. Actually, Mars is there to back you up. You are there very strong in your energy, especially in the workplace or in the public. So you have no trouble standing up for yourself. So you don't need to over explain, Aquarius. Now we have the Venus with the South Node in the eighth house. This is telling you to kind of organize your paper work, but you maybe want to focus more on how to make your own money. And sometimes we have to let go of how exactly that's going to come in. Okay. And Yeah, just letting it flow. Like Pisces wants you to surrender. So check your papers, but when that's done, like let it go, right? There could even be some lucky break with you receiving some money, receiving money back from some organization. Okay. But this is really according to past life karma, according to the South Node. The third house is also about studying or traveling. So some of you are going to study something new, like a bold move. You're going to study something that you want to read or study for yourself, or you're going to travel somewhere that you're going to do for yourself to feel whole and complete within yourself. Okay. Okay, we have this card again. It says weed, but it's not the smoking weed. It is about getting rid of the weeds in the garden that prevent you from fully leading the path you're supposed to. So sometimes Pluto is giving extremes, okay? And from that extreme, sometimes we're trying to control the external because so many things are happening, but it's about inner strength. And if you realize that, if you're going to have healthy boundaries and inner strength, you will see that actually Pluto in the first house is going to be a gift because it's going to teach you who's good for you and who's not. You see, share. Look at that. People who share with you. The busy bee should still make time for each flower. So sometimes, people are super busy, which is normal, but you make time for good friends. Each person can make time for someone that's important. So if some people are never making time for you, that's really your answer, isn't it? Or if they're like short or they don't really care, that's really says something. So it's like when someone is sharing with you, it's a good friend. Same with work, right? Like, um, if your boss is never making time for you and is always trying to avoid you, that's not a good boss, is it? So you're going to see some truth in certain situations. And even though it's difficult, your Jupiter in the sixth house does say, like, colleagues and, colleagues are giving, you have a good connection with your colleagues, okay? But yeah, things might be going a bit unfair, or you're wanting to expose certain things about people. Be wise and careful what you exactly expose, but you have the gift now of seeing through the BS of people. This is Pluto on the ascendant as well, okay? But use it wisely. Don't use it to manipulate others. Use it for the good, and you can really transform into such a strong person, okay? And yeah, don't let people. Wow, I had one more card transform. Just put the deck in health, rise above any situation, and become the best version of you. Well, I couldn't say it really any better. Rise above the situation and become the best version. Let people do their things, their toxic things. And that's not saying anything about you, that's saying more about them. If you're gonna go in this situation, you're involved and you're going to their level, let it be, let it go, and send them blessings because those people need it the most. So that's how we're gonna end this session, this message for you, my lovely Aquarius. If you want to help me spread the word, subscribe to my channel so more people can learn about astrology. And yeah, I see you next time. Aquarius, many blessings to you. Let's go to Pisces. So Pisces, Sun, and Rising. For you, we have this full moon in Aries at 14 degrees in your second house. So this is all to do with your self-worth and your money and how you value and see yourself. And with Neptune and Chiron there, sometimes you've doubted that you're worthy of materials, that you're worthy of money, and you're now healing that. Okay, you have Jupiter in the fifth house, so you're very creative right now. Just be careful that you don't overspend money on children, right? Some of you are pregnant, expecting a child, or just, love to spend time with your children, but you're overspending money on children or your hobby or anything. Now it's time to really see and make a bold move. Like, how can you spend your money in the best way that is going to give you results. Okay. Maybe you're daring to ask more money. Like you're going to be bold and say, actually, I'm going to put a little bit of a higher price on my work and reevaluating yourself. Okay. Then we have Mars and Mercury in the ninth house. So you could be traveling right now, but Mercury is also in a square with Pluto. So there might be some little obstacles in the way when it comes to traveling, or even when you're abroad, some things or situations that happen are really changing this way you see the world. Okay. So it might be that you're even, if you're not traveling, that you could be impacted by what is happening now in the world. Okay. And you want to talk about it. Maybe you're doing research about it. And also, you could get a lot of downloads when you're in meditation or doing some kind of hypnosis. Okay. Really diving into taboo subjects. That's what's going on for you right now. Then we have Venus in Virgo in the seventh house, conjunct the South Node in Virgo in the seventh. And this is all about uh, love. And maybe someone could be coming back, okay, from a past life or from the past. And you're picking up where you left off because Venus is also in a sextile with Jupiter. So this is a great time for love. And it's also time to let go of any toxic patterns of previous relationships and to not bring that in a new relationship. So if you're single, it's a beautiful time to attract someone, but maybe you have to see relationships in a different way. Okay. Maybe you were expecting so much, or you had partners that were so critical, so expecting of who you should be. And it's now time to value yourself. Okay. Second house, value yourself and understand that a partner who is fitting for you will not be so critical. Okay. We're getting transformed, just like Aquarius we have. Rise above any situation and become the best version of you. So some of you will let go of a certain relationship, and that's because you will let go of old toxic patterns. You're ready now for something that you deserve, okay? That maybe you felt sometimes that you had to be a certain way to attract someone, but that doesn't need to happen. Present. We're getting present. Journey into the garden to escape the two eternities, the past and the future. Sometimes we're so busy planning the future or thinking about the past that we forget to live in the now. So it's really important to live in the now and to understand that what we least expected, right? North Node is in the first house. So the focus is on you doing what you love. And when you do what you love, you attract someone that is loving the same things as you, right? And I saw it the other day. I saw someone about copying other people to attract. No, 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 no. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, we're so unique, all of us. Like, we don't need to copy anything. We attract to us who we are with who we are. Because if we're a fake version of ourselves, we're going to attract people that like the fake version of ourselves. How long is that sustainable? So, yeah, didn't like to see that. Yeah, it's so good to be unique. And that's exactly what you're doing right now. You're being your unique version, and this is what is going to attract love for you. If you're already in a relationship, it's just about reconstructing it according to, what is good for both of you, yin and yang, finding a way of balance between both of you, okay? And living in the present. So letting go of all the expectations, right? And also all the research that maybe you're doing about specific situations or places or different, even what is happening in the world. You might do a lot of research and it can get you out of the present, but actually we can do things and heal things when we're actually in the now, because then we know more clearly how we can help, what we can do. And if everyone is going into their purpose and doing what they're supposed to do, we can really heal this place, right? But we need to be connected and learning discernment and boundaries, and also standing up for ourselves is totally fine. It's as long as we don't do it at the cost of ourselves. So that's my message for you, my lovely Pisces. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm sending you many blessings. And until next time.